So he actually did find some success in that. He was able to block the attacks and he struck back a couple times. And in the end, she kind of had him, I think, was doing some sort of like a meditation, or just kind of focusing and was kind of phasing in and out around him in a circle, kind of like a dance. And he walked forward and he tried to feel for one of these gaps as she was phasing and kind of fell through it.
Oh.
So plopped out on the other side. Oh, and before that, he did get some bonuses to that skill check because Mara did some uh, practicing or training with him.
which was very confusing, but I'm glad it proved helpful.
Yeah, it's kind of like especially with me in real life where I'm in this new job and your trainer, the person who's supposed to be teaching you, has been doing this pretty much all their life, and all the way they explain it is not clicking with that new person. And that's the same thing that's what's happening with Silas right now. And Mara, like she's been doing it her entire life, so she doesn't understand that I don't see what she's seeing.
Mhm.
It was pretty good.
But you're getting the hang of it now.
He's
And
almost
then
getting it. I
Still,
believe
so
in
much
him.
to learn.
One of the things they say in art school is before you can learn to draw, you have to learn to see.
But I can't see. You blindfolded me.
I can't see. You'll figure it out.
If not, just focus on the combat that'll inevitably come our way, and you'll be fine.
And then rest of the party, you guys started an adventure. Do you want to talk about where you got off to?
but I think the rest of us with Stella was given instructions to do some practicing. All of the rest of us went to the river, and Roos smelled owl bisons in the water, the river water for some reason, and offered to take us all hunting for owl bisons. So we
He
were holding
didn't
off on that.
he didn't offer hunting. He offered to bring you up there to investigate.
Potato,
Um
potato. Depends on who's telling the story.
I still say.
to
Well,
Ice
he
Rose.
offered, yeah, he
Yeah.
offered, to take ice there. It's like, yeah, I want to go see, we can go sneak in. I'm like, uh, well,
For
we got
hunting.
Stella here, and Naya, and Luthien. Let's all go.
And
So
so um
we held off on that until because you and Ash weren't here last week,
Mm.
yep.
so we held off
Mara,
on that.
Mara would not partake in the seeing of the owl bison.
Not even the look.
No, I would wish them well, but like there's a couple things I wanted to get done back at the camp before the sunset, and then I would just after lunch I would head back there.
Okay. And so Stella, Claudia spent um some of her morning before she went off with Silas, just kind of talking about your experiences the day before
Mhm.
and giving you some meditation exercises and things like that. So if you went with the party to the river, which I'm guessing you did,
Yeah.
um, uh, she would have given you some that involved, finding a place to kind of find some slower moving parts of the water and just float there and doing some uh, breathing exercises, some meditation and stuff like that, where you're floating as much as you can. Obviously, the water is moving because it's a river, but finding a slower spot where you can dive under and kind of feel around and try to rehone that sense of the plains.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. I have homework.
And so that's what as you guys went to the the river last session, that's what um Stella, I imagine, would be doing while they were fishing and doing some stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, just in preparation, I'm going to start pulling characters over from another map. Is there anything else that I missed that anyone wants to mention?
I just want to say I love how giant this map is, and we all look like tiny little specks.
It's not a new day, right? Because I do want to look at the mirror.
Um, did you look
No.
at it last week?
I think I did,
Right.
but it was for the night before.
I didn't even realize characters were on this map. I thought they were just rocks.
This is the one
So
from the one shot, or not one shot, but one session with Defends,
Oh,
where there's that
yes.
big castle in the middle. I wanted to have a big plane where you guys could
There we are. I see us now.
we don't need two
so
Silases.
so checking through my notes, you have not used a mirror in the current day that we are in.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yep, so you can still use the mirror today before this day ends.
I'll probably most likely do it before we go to sleep.
Okay. And you'll also get to camp probably well before the party, but maybe about the time that Mara is returning to camp. Am I missing someone? There's 5, 6, 7 of you. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Ash joined but cannot hear anyone. Let's see if she's back quick and then we'll get started. Hello. Okay,
Yay.
good.
I can hear. Huzzah.
Yay.
Yay.
You missed some of the recap, so um, most of it I don't think will affect you this session, but you might want to just re-listen to the recap once Randy posts it, just so you have an idea of what happened in the past day. But the part that will affect you is the party, they went to the river again. Um, I know Roos and Ice did some fishing. Is that right?
Yep,
Okay.
And Chadward stole their fish.
I did not steal our fish this
They
time.
were able to get some fish.
That's what
Um,
you think.
and then what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Roos was doing some smelling, as Roos does. That was a really weird sentence. He was
We're gonna let it all slide.
he was doing some smelling.
He was doing some smelling.
um, he noticed the scent of owl bison upstream on the water. Um, and he mentioned it to Ice Rose, and I'm assuming the rest of the group there, about possibly going out there to investigate the owl bison.
Yay, owl bison. I want to see this owl bison.
Oh, I guess this is gonna be tough until Matt can talk because he was the one who was gonna guide this expedition.
It's okay. I can pretend to be Matt. All right, children, we're gonna go on a calm field trip to go see some owl bison. Tut tut. Cheerio.
So they're at the river already, right? And then this is a separate the owl bison or somewhere else.
Yeah, they're further. He
Yeah.
smelled them from upstream, so their scent was on the water, traveling down the river.
Okay, I'm gonna just continue to gently float down the river and do my homework.
Why don't we cut back to the camp where Mara and Silas are heading until Matt's able to uh chime in.
Eh.
So, oh, you can
There
go ahead.
was something I wanted to do on my way back to the camp.
Okay, let's do that first then.
Since I haven't done it here yet at all, I was just gonna pop detect magic. And I was just gonna kind of keep an eye out for anything, pretty much anything magical, because it seems like she keeps a pretty low magic profile. So I just kind of wanted to get an idea of what was around here.
Can you share the text of the spell?
Yeah. It's a 30-foot radius. Objects in the area that bear magic.
1 inch of common metal. Then
And I would keep that on for the entire walk back, and then while I'm like walking around the camp.
Okay, it only lasts 10 minutes, and you have, I think I said it was around an hour or 2 hours back.
Yeah, but I
So
can
you,
use it at will.
oh yeah,
So
you have at will the eyes of whatever
yeah,
the
so I can just keep
invocation.
using it regardless.
Okay. Um, on the way back, you wouldn't detect any magic. When you're back at camp, it's very low magic. There's no auras. There's nothing like that. In Cludia's tent, you can get a sense that there are some magic items, but no active spells in the area.
So just some personal items of Cludia's, no other magic around.
Yeah.
Okay.
And any magic items that the rest of you would have left in camp.
Right. Okay. Good to know.
So Silas, you kind of left the door open for Cludia's uh upsettingly cheerful trot back to camp, um humming and kind of skipping her way back. You have to put up with it for a while unless you say anything until you guys finally get back to camp. First ones to arrive. Anything you'd like to do?
Uh, he'll immediately go to Wrath and just hang out with him, get away from the noise.
She's gleefully cooking in the kitchen, or not cooking, but starting to do some prep, cutting up veggies and things like that, and singing a song and clanking knives and pans and the like. Um, Before long, Mara would return to camp on her own without the rest of the party.
She would go and find Cludia.
Very easy to find, clanking and singing and humming in the kitchen.
Hi, Cludia.
Oh, welcome back. Just you? Did the rest not come back?
Oh, they're gonna go look at the owl bison.
Ooh.
They've never
Well,
seen one before, so
yeah, I guess that would be exciting to see for the first time.
um
Got to be careful though.
so I've heard. I just had a question for you, I guess. I don't really know how this would work, but I know you don't like using spells to traverse between the planes. It's not really what you guys do. But in case of emergency, would you happen to have a particular forked silver branch or other precious metal attuned to the material plane?
Oh, a tuning fork?
Yeah.
Um, we definitely have them. So I don't use magic, but some of the other wardens do. I don't like it. It feels kind of indelicate.
I understand.
Um, yeah, some of the some of the other wardens would probably have that, or they'd be able to help you figure out how to tune one.
Do you in particular own one that I could perhaps trade for?
Oh no, I don't really have a use for one.
That's fair. I just
But I
figured
guess
I'd
if I did,
ask
I'd be able
since,
to trade it.
but if you know of anybody that might, have that, I would be all ears.
The Did you ask the Grand Conservator?
Well, yeah, he said that a Void Walker would be the one to talk to, and then he sent us to the Void Walker that doesn't use magic. I think now he was probably making a joke,
Um,
but I'll check back with him when we get back to town.
yeah. I know it's hard on the material plane because you need to have something that's very much of the plane, but the material plane has been so contaminated by other planes that that's kind of what Silas was struggling with, is finding out what's not from this plane or what is not from other planes, what's inherent to this one.
Speaking of inherit to this plane, I was wondering what your opinion of undead and necromancy magic was. And at this point, Mara, because was Cludia in the kitchen at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, Mara would like actively start helping with whatever Cludia is doing so that she's not just like taking all of her time from this prep that needs to be done every day.
You can peel carrots.
Exactly. I can peel
Yeah.
carrots.
Um,
What kind of is that a dex roll? I'm gonna make a dex roll. I'm not great at peeling carrots, but I'm
but you
helping.
also don't chop your finger off.
I don't chop my finger off, and if worst comes to worst, she would just shove me on dishwashing.
um, well, that see that's interesting because that is one of those forms of magic that actually, as far as I know, a lot of it does actually, I wouldn't say originate, but it doesn't pull power from other planes. It's interesting. It um because it pulls power from the lives that it harvests. So that's interesting that yeah, we're talking about where um uh other planar stuff, but yeah, messing with life and death is um that's a that's a slippery slope kind of thing.
It's
I
a very tricksy topic.
I feel like things that die should stay dead. Um, and then like really, is that life or are they puppets? Like, do they even think? Do they even feel? Don't I don't know. It's uh I I
These are
wouldn't
good
touch it.
questions.
It's kind of the epitome of what I was saying about magic being indelicate.
I see. Well, thank you for sharing your opinions with me. I learned something today.
Oh, what did you learn?
Well, I learned that you keep an open mind about the nature of power, but also have a strong sense of moral guidance in how it's used. And I think that's fantastic.
Oh, delightful. Anything else I can help you with?
Um, yeah, where do I put all these carrot tops?
Oh, we can compost them.
Awesome. And then Mara will just help kind of clean up and whatever else in the kitchen for a while until anyone else walks in. Light small talk.
Out back of the camp, there will be a big, almost kind of not pit, but um, not just dug, but kind of like built up with kind of lumber type stuff and a berm behind it where there's just all kinds of food scraps and other things that are just thrown in a big pile, and it's just all decaying and rotting, and it smells kind of rank, but um it's probably good for something.
I'm sure she understands dirt a lot more than I do.
I was hoping we'd be able to have Matt chiming in soon, but um we might just have to jump ahead. Silas, is there anything you're going to do tonight? Are you going to use the mirror before everyone gets back, or are you going to wait till people return?
Um, we could do it now, while everyone's away, outside of everyone's judgment.
Whatever Silas would do, we don't have to. We could just jump into it because we're probably going to have to jump into it before Matt can uh, talk anyway. So
Yeah,
whatever.
can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah.
Well, it's going to be probably close to, I got 10 minutes away for an Uber, and then it's like a 40-minute drive. So Bruce would
Okay.
just, where all Bruce is going to do is basically just kind of enjoy the stroll down the water. So he's really not doing it for anything besides just the sightseeing and to see the new creature.
Okay.
So yeah, you can jump into it.
Yeah, the main question, if you could answer real quick, is what's he
Yeah.
gonna do if he finds out that ICE is trying to hunt them?
That's that's up to her, and the party. He wouldn't try to stop her.
Okay.
As long, I mean, because he knows she uses everything that she hunts, and um, she's not. It's not going to go to waste. And while he's not a meat eater, he is. He's not opposed to it.
Okay. Cool. Perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, we can do that, or we can jump into the party. Whatever you'd like to do, as Silas.
Jump to the party.
Okay. All right. Um, Roos, in the same manner as Bree's impersonation early on, um, starts leading the party up the river. Or what's left of the party. Is Stella coming with as well? I know you said you were going to work on your meditations.
Yeah, I'm floating down the river, so I'm not coming. I'm probably going in the opposite direction.
You're actually letting the river take you?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we tow her with us?
If
I'm
she lets
trying to
you.
I'm trying to meditate. What are you doing?
If you would just pass without a trace, I can put you on a rope and you can go back to what you were doing. I'm kidding, I don't say that.
No, I just I let the river take me if it's gonna take me. And
Okay.
continue my meditation.
How long do you let the river take you?
Probably not too long. I don't know. I try to like get into the meditative mind, but I don't think Stella is very practiced in it, so I don't think she can stay like in that state for very long. So it's probably like every couple of minutes she's like, "Oh shit, the
I'm-
river's taking me," and she like swims back up.
So you would be able to find, if you wanted to, kind of a more stable kind of, not tidal, but like an inlet where the river's very slow, where it is almost stagnant, where the water rushes by and it almost, as it moves, it pushes water backwards. So there's really not much float there. Within, a few minutes of floating, you'd be able to find something like that where you can hang out.
Yeah,
Or I'm
that
trying to
sounds
think.
great.
Yeah, it would be moving too fast where Roos's Bridge was. But yeah, you can find a nice place to relax. So maybe we'll cut back to you in a little bit.
Okay.
The remaining four of you start traveling up the river. Um,
Yep. Can I look for
go-
tracks?
yeah, I was gonna say perceptions, but you could do a survival. Oh, and then Roos would do a smell at advantage. I'll roll a 2d20. Okay, he got a 26 plus whatever his smelling is, which is a lot. So he would definitely be able to smell the scent getting stronger as you go upstream. Um,
Oh, is
you're
Bruce
not.
taking this?
Yeah, yeah. He's the one who invited you to go up and check him out.
If it is it too late for me to say if Roos is the one mainly taking us, I'm gonna trust him on that and do a Fafine and Dead check instead.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So just roll one more survival then, since you've already
Yeah,
rolled one.
yeah.
You don't detect anything.
Okay.
So following the coast of the river, um, you probably aren't right on it, but 10, 15 feet away, so you're not walking in muck and mud. Um, Eventually, you start to see the horizon turning black ahead of you along the river. Um, as you get closer, you start to see that this black streak on the horizon is moving and shifting. Um, I'm not even going to make you have to roll because you know what you're looking for. You can guess these are the owl bison. Um, it's a lot of them. It's almost like a big black cloud, just kind of very skinny on the horizon. I will let you roll a nature or a survival, um, probably a nature, to see what you can suss out about the nature of um, these. Okay, with a 27. Um, these things are big and they're pretty far away, and there's a lot of them. You'd guess that the number is easily over 100. This is a huge herd. All uh, just laughing at Matt saying weird things in an Uber. Um, uh, they're along the water. You can see some of them in it, bathing and drinking as you get up near. I'll let you all roll stealth um, if you want to approach unseen. I rolled a 14 for Roos. Do we want to get Luthien and Naya as well?
Luthien's stealth is pretty garbage, so if they're trying to like be super sneaky, Luthien probably wouldn't want to mess that up.
Okay, so Luthien's gonna hang back then as you guys get closer to the owl bison.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. I'm just pulling up not black roots. Okay. And then a 13 for Roos. As you guys get closer to where you're starting to not really see a mass anymore, but you're actually able to make out the individual owl bison. Um, you hear a loud, it's almost a screech, but it's deeper. It's not quite a bellow, but it's almost just kind of like a steady tone that shoots out from the herd ahead, and all of a sudden everything starts shifting and they start to move away from you, um, slowly at first, but once they figure out the direction they start moving rapidly. At least most of them, a few kind of stay back, facing your direction, scanning the horizon, watching for you.
Wait, the screech was from an owl bison?
Yep.
Oh, fun. Okay.
You see him start moving away. Are you guys doing anything? Or are you continuing to pursue?
Um,
Pursue
how
the
far?
owl bison?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, like, unless they're really far away or something, right? Yes. You go. Keep going.
Yeah, so I'd say at this point they're probably about 200 yards away.
Hmm. Roos,
Sounds
do
like
you have
Naya.
a
Oh,
Roos, do you have a way of getting all of us away really quickly if they start heading towards us?
Is that a question for me?
Yes.
What was the question? Sorry.
Do you have a way of getting all of us away really quickly if they start stampeding towards us? It's you,
Oh
me,
yeah.
and that
We are. How many of us are there?
3.
There's 3. Yeah, I can. I set my sanctuary up to be down the river, basically where we were. So if you're within 5 feet of me, I can get us all back there, instantly. With
Luthien,
I forget the spell name. Word of recall.
word of recall. Luthien's
Yeah.
hanging back though.
Then he would not get the benefit. He had to be close to me in order to do that. I can also turn you invisible, which makes it harder to teleport you if you're invisible and you're being stampeded. But I could do that. Are you there?
Yeah, thinking.
Another thing I could do. This is really outside the box. I could use my Dan. Let me know if this would work.
yep.
I could use my sorcerer points to get another level 7 spell slot, and then I can make another Temple of the Gods there. That's like, that is something sturdy, so that we could take shelter in that.
A shark cage.
Basically, a shark cage, yeah, for oxen or for bison, yeah. I don't know if that those would be my options for keeping us safe from a stampede.
Yeah, either of those could work.
How far away
So
from Luthien?
let me do this then. I'm going to build I will say, and I'll do this in character so my driver can enjoy this. Luthien, before I leave you, would you like me to build you some sort of safe house that you could stay in, and that way, if we don't make it back, for me to teleport us out of here, at least you're safe and you don't get stampeded to death by owl bison.
I appreciate that. Why we go in near these things that might stampede and kill us all?
Oh well, I guess that's just the sort of thing that Ice Rose is into. And
Yeah, I'm gonna stay back here. Are you kidding me? You're out of your
okay.
mind.
Well, everyone else, I'll go ahead then, Dan. I'll spend all my whatever I need to do to get enough sorcerer points, because I cash in and out. I have plenty of empty slots to make basically like a at the highest point of land. I will build a 20 by 20 fort, pretty much that would out of like solid stone.
Okay.
So that with a door, obviously, on the opposites, the door would be on the opposite side of where the stampede is.
Yeah.
And then I will follow, and I just say to everyone else, anyone else who's coming along needs to stay close enough to me that if we need to get out in a hurry, you can be within 5 feet of me. This is fun.
Yeah, I'll stay here and do my best to revive you all. Have fun.
I appreciate that.
Does this have a spectating perch up top?
Yes, it would have a. Yeah, I kind of almost felt like it'd be like a tower. So
Yeah.
like up. Yes.
Kind of like a fort, like a frontier fort.
Yes. Yeah. More or less. Yep. Exactly.
Okay. Luthien, you get up to your perch and you see Naya and Ice rearing to go forward, and Roos protectively following after.
Well,
You
I
got
assume we would, given that we would be hanging on to Roos a little bit
yeah.
just to stay within range.
Let's see. I said 100 yards. Oh, there we go. Let's start to set the scene. I'm going to move the people who are not here to the bottom left. I'm going to put Luthien at the bottom middle. That's where his fort will be. Oh, you said 20 by 20, I think. Let me zoom in and let's actually make a fort. Um, 20 by 20 is not that big. Come on, let me move it. No, it's not letting me move it. I'll just stretch it. There we go. There's the fort. And then I will say up front, these are not flying bison. They just look like it.
Wait, they can't actually fly?
No.
Oh my goodness,
Do
they
they
are
go
so
real
cute.
fast? Do they run real fast like ostriches?
Oh my god, that is adorable.
They run real fast like bison.
Do they actually have 6 legs?
No, they
Oh.
have 4 legs like normal bison. The only bison token I could get was a flying bison, so that's what we have to work with.
Okay.
They don't have horns either. Well, they do have horns. They have like bison-like horns, but they don't have like these like wide curly ones. And they have the face of an owl and a big owl beak.
That's terrifying.
Thinking of the head of a bison, and these are much bigger than normal bison. These are probably about twice the size. These are they're classified as huge creatures. So their head is probably about like 3 feet across. So their beak itself is probably about 18 inches long at least.
I would like to not meet that.
And so let's move the three of you down below. And Ice and Naya, if you would like to approach these things, you certainly could. Most of the herd has run off, and there's these 6 of them that are kind of standing there, um, almost kind of blocking the way between you and the rest of the herd.
Naya, can you talk to them?
I think I have to be closer to them. Hold on. Let me see. Where did it go? Or I guess not. It doesn't say. I
I
just
think,
cast on
yeah, I
myself.
think speak with animal cast should be self. And it just allows you to communicate with them. So as far as is reasonable that they'd be able to hear you, they could potentially hear, understand you. This is quite a distance, so you'd have to be shouting really loud. You'd probably have to be using something like thaumaturgy to increase the volume of your voice. But if you approach closer, you could definitely try to speak loudly to them.
Yeah, I guess she wouldn't want to dash because I don't want to freak them out. But she'd walk a little bit closer. Like, hold on, that would be.
Sorry, I'm just getting their stat blocks up real quick.
I'm going to assume, since Ice and Roos spoke about it, that the 3 of us are gonna stick together and creep up together.
That's a fair assumption. He did say to make sure you're staying close.
Yeah, so you gotta come to me. I'm gonna go like 100 feet away from this closest guy.
Okay.
In the
As you're about there, 100 feet, a little over 30 yards away, they're all kind of starting to gather up and form a tighter line now that they know where you guys are.
How far away is the rest of the herd?
Far. They've been moving away actively at a high rate of speed, and these things have a 40-foot move speed.
Gotcha.
Wait, why do we want to talk to these things? I mean, other than Naya's pure curiosity and general desire to talk to all creatures.
That's what Ice is playing on.
Yeah, but are you gonna like try to stab him to death?
She looks over and looks at the rest of the party and looks back at Luthien. I don't know if we can take 6 of them, but I'd be curious to learn about them in a different way if you're able to speak to them.
Yeah, I'd like to speak to them and not stab them to death.
I promise I will not do anything to harm them unless they do something to harm us first. That sound fair?
Okay. Fair enough.
As you guys are spending a minute to talk, you notice that the ones on the end are starting to walk forward and around you, and are kind of starting to loop behind.
Oh no.
Right now, they're just at your sides, but they're all staring at you intently. They have really focused stares. Uh, on you guys. The ones that are walking forward, you can tell that their body is facing due south as we're oriented on this map. But like an owl, their head is just kind of on a pivot. So their head is almost turned sideways, completely unlike bison.
Do they have feathers? Or does it look like they have feathers?
Roll a perception.
Perception.
I'm trying to see if owlbears. Owlbears definitely do have feathers. Um, their body seems to be covered uh, in fur, but all the way up their arms, or not arms, their four legs. Not four legs as in all four, but the front ones. There's feathers that come out of um, the back of the upper portion of the arm, and it's almost kind of like a shawl of feathers, and their head is entirely covered in feathers. Um, with the natural 20 and the 19, you can see how aggressive their beak is. It looks almost serrated. Um, their hind legs have hooves. Their front legs, they have kind of the hoof at the middle, and then they have two talons coming down from I don't know what you'd call that anatomically, but essentially like the wrist type area. There's two claws that come down that look like they could pinch with the hoof
Like a
itself.
velociraptor claw. Is that that?
Yes, except for instead of out the front, it's out the bottom and back.
Oh boy.
All right, you cast Speak with Animals. What do you do?
um, Calmly just like say, "Hi, I just wanted to say hello to you guys. We are friendly and are not terrified of you at all."
Sorry, let me check one thing real quick. The one in blue, with the blue aura on it, it kind of steps back, and it kind of yanks its head back. Kind of how it has kind of this floaty feeling. Like, have you ever seen someone move the chicken and the head stays still?
Yes.
Yeah, it has that kind of like on a gyro type feel to it, where the head just kind of moves straight backwards. But it's like it's not shooken or anything. It's not like uh, a jarring movement. It's kind of this uh reactive surprise, and its head turns 90 degrees sideways, not looking to the side, but the head itself actually cocks, so that like the top of it is pointing perpendicular or parallel to the horizon. um and it just kind of then flips back the other way, then flips back straight.
Not gonna
What
lie,
was that?
that looks a little creepy. Did it talk to me?
Wait, is that what the owl bison just said?
Yeah.
The owl bison just said, "What was that to us?"
Yep. Yep.
Yes, that is me. Hi, I'm Naya. What's your name?
I can understand you.
Oh, that's great.
It kind of looks aside at the other ones. What is this?
I am a water genasi.
Roll a persuasion, and I'll say with advantage.
Oh, good. Because, nope, it's not going to be good. Ugh, never. Naya's not very persuasive at all. She tries too hard. She's a tryhard.
What is a water genasi?
I my I come from the ocean. My people live by the water also.
Ah, the water. The water is needed for life.
Yes. Yep. Agreed.
What brings you here?
So we're just traveling with my friends here. These are my friends. What are you
Hello.
guys?
We seek the water. It cleanses. It satiates. It's necessary.
Do you need help finding the water?
Well, it's right here. We found it.
Cool, cool.
What are they saying?
They said that they're going to the water because that's what they need. Because it satiates and it's life.
Are they being friendly?
They're being confused.
Roll an insight. They're very intrigued. They're not being unfriendly, but they're on a very defensive stance. They have stopped surrounding you because they're just kind of blown away. They're still trying to suss out if you are a threat or not. Um, Given that there's 3 of you and 6 of them and their sheer size, they're probably not too intimidated. Um, they're just really confused by this whole situation.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. They just got surprised by some random things, tiny little things that are now talking at them and following them for really.
Sorry, I navigated away from something. Okay, go ahead.
Naya's gonna turn back to them and say, well, we were just really curious about you guys because we've never seen anything like you, and you seem very cool and interesting. And we'd love to learn about you, if you wouldn't mind.
I've seen many things like you.
Oh. Put it away. Go to bed.
Timely.
Sorry, I didn't realize that wasn't muted. sorry. I apologize.
Go to
As
bed,
I
Wesley.
shouts that as at the Howl Bison.
Only if the bison is named Wesley.
What was I gonna say? The ones like you on 2 legs, they hunt us.
Oh. Well, why do they hunt you?
All creatures must hunt or be hunted.
I suppose that can be true. But we are not looking to hunt you. And Naya turns and looks sharply at Ice Rose.
You come bearing arms?
I promise not to do anything. I would, if you can learn more about them, I would love to learn more about them, and I wouldn't mind getting a feather or two.
We do have carry arms, yes, just to protect ourselves as we travel.
Yes, protection is necessary. What do you seek?
Just knowledge. Like, I like to collect plants. So I was curious what sort of plants or things you guys might eat. Or what happens in the water. Because I like water. I don't know. And I suddenly wishes somebody else also.
The plants here are suitable, but not exciting. There are some in the water as well. In the water we fish, we wash, and we drink. It's necessary.
Okay. Very cool. Do you guys ever happen to drop any of your feathers?
They fall and are replaced. This is part of life.
Would it offend you, or would you mind terribly if any of your feathers fall if we happen to collect them? Just so we can study them and observe them?
There may be many here. We have no longer need of them.
Cool. Alright.
Based on
And I
the
would turn
sheer
to
number
Icer.
of bison that were here, you can guess that undoubtedly there are feathers around.
So Naya turns to Icer and is like, you can grab any of these feathers that you see on the ground. We can collect those, eh? But
Okay.
don't kill these people yet.
What are they saying?
They're saying that the water is life again, but also that we can collect some of their feathers that are on the ground. So, if you want to pick up some of those.
Sure. Did you intend to get any closer to them?
No.
Okay.
No, they're very big.
I mean, I thought you were making friends with them, kind of like you did with the grass yesterday.
I am making friends with them, but they're still very large. And they don't seem to trust us.
That's fair. I will look around for feathers.
Roll a... Because they're falling into grass, I'm guessing... Yeah, I'm going to say this is going to have to be an investigation check.
Investigation. Aww.
You don't find a single feather.
I can't find any, Naya. Ice is super distracted by the bison.
Me neither.
Bruce will. I'm home, but I'm not near my computer yet. Also, my Uber driver wants to join us at some point. I had us on speaker. He was cool. He was a cool guy. Bruce will also search in hopes to maybe find them.
Okay, I think
Some
I
good
have
feathers.
Bruce. Okay. Investigation. Oh, and he has advantage? Is that just in general? Or is it only on certain checks?
Like his smell.
Oh, yeah, for smell. Oh, but you would be able to smell owl bison feathers.
Yeah.
Because they would smell like owl bison, which you have smelled. With the 20, you can definitely find you find one really big one that's probably about a foot and a half long, and then you find a few small ones that are only a few inches.
I will pick up enough for everyone in the party to have one, and I'll give the big one to Naya.
Yay, thank you.
And I'll give it to Naya since he talked to him. And then I'll give mine. I don't need one, so I'll give Ice Rose an extra one.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Naya, can you? I don't know how long we're gonna be here. I plan on hunting while we're here. I don't know if we can work out some sort of agreement between us and them to stay away from each other while I'm hunting at night. Or if they have an area that I
Yeah,
should stay away from.
okay. I'll turn back around. Did I ever learn their names? Did he say a name? No.
You did not ask a name.
I did.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
I said when I introduced myself and said my name is Naya, I said, "What's yours?"
Oh, okay. Let's see. I guess they'd technically be bird folk. Squee!
Scooby. That's great. Scooby, this is my friend Ice Rose here, and Naya gestures to Ice Rose. And she is a hunter, but we just wanted to make sure that she's gonna respect your areas. Do you mind if there's a certain place she can hunt? Is there anywhere she can have permission to hunt?
Stay away from the herd.
Yes, she will not hunt your herd. I'll make sure of that.
Mind our area as well.
What exactly is your area?
The herd moves.
Okay. So wherever the herd is, don't hunt there. Got it.
Where would that be? Do they move around, or is there a certain area?
They move around.
Cool. Can I take a look and note what owl bison tracks look like to remember them?
Yeah. Roll a nature or survival.
Let's do nature.
Okay. The hind tracks, they just look like normal bison tracks, just normal hooved animal feet, except quite a bit bigger. They are substantial. They're almost a foot across. And then the front hooves are even bigger. If they were to put their entire hoof on your chest as you were laid down prone, they'd probably cover it in its entirety. And then you cannot see in the track itself an imprint of or at least like the footprint. You don't see an imprint of the claws, but with the 25 you're able to see that while they're in motion, as their foot is going in and out of the dirt, sometimes as their foot lifts off, the claws leave a streak behind, as the foot starts to move forward.
touch him. That is absolutely terrifying. That's a player. But I've noted that Ice now recognizes or memorize all bison tracks, and I can recognize them.
Yep. But this is something that's very subtle to be able to pick up on. But also just from the sheer size of it, you could do some deductions in this area.
Yep. All right. Yeah. Or if they're not going to harm us, or if you don't want to continue speaking with them, that's all I got.
Yeah, Naya's debating getting closer to them or not.
How long does Naya's spell last?
I think it's like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's 10
minutes.
10 minutes.
And how big are they? Like height?
Huge.
From beak to end of their hindquarters, they're between 10 and 15 feet.
What about like ground to top of head?
8 to 10.
Okay. Naya, would you mind if we have a? Can you translate a quick conversation for me?
Sure.
How far away are we, by the way?
About 100 feet.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess can we go closer?
Sure. Scooey, we're coming a little bit closer, okay?
Move slow and deliberately.
Did he say something?
So Ice and Roos would be hearing noises coming from him, but they're kind of guttural. They're because of how big this creature is, they don't have that softness of like what would you call it that an owl does? Like a cooing noise. It's much deeper, and it's there's almost a noise in there that sounds like you can hear whatever makes the noise kind of slapping inside. There's this kind of like harshness to it, but then it's also got this loftiness of this echoing uh I don't even know how to describe an owl's sound, but it's almost otherworldly. It's not like any other animal you've heard, because these things that are usually pretty small are blown up to such a ridiculous scale.
Mm-hmm.
So Naya's gonna say, they're telling us to move slowly and deliberately towards them. But we can get closer, yes.
A regal march, as it were. That works for me. I will march in, not march, but just very deliberately just walk in and say, is the one that we're engaging like the leader or just a random one?
It's been doing all the speaking for the herd.
Okay.
And as you start to approach, it kind of moves to a central location within the semicircle.
Great. I will say to it, I will say, and I've heard you now refer to it as squeak, right?
Squeak.
What is it?
Squeak.
Squee. Okay. I'll say Squee. It is Squee. It is an honor to meet you, and to see your wonderful herd. I just come bearing a greeting from the kingdom of Rarus, and we wanted to just offer to you anything that you might be interested in that I have on my person, or any information that might be useful. If nothing is of use, then I just want to make sure that our meeting is good and to your liking.
Naya translates all of that.
You are not like the others. I like this.
Well, yes. In fact, much like you, my people are have been herd people as well. So we are. I'm a little different. I'm also much taller and quite a bit older, and probably a little sillier. But yes, you seem to be a very majestic people.
Do you know where we can find land meat?
We're gonna get
Land.
eaten.
So Naya would translate land meat to me. Land meat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
I have
could I get
bear meat.
a little more clarification of what land meat you want? Perhaps that's something we can provide.
Game.
Ah,
To feed the herd.
Oh, I see. Well, let me. Ice, have you moved forward with us?
Yeah, I have some bear meat.
Yeah, we do have some meat. Ice, if you're willing to part with it.
I can always hunt. Worst case, there's always the bag of nuts. Though at this point, it's the bag of nuts and fruits.
How much bear meat do you have? Is it still the carcass, or is it all sectioned up and smoked and all that?
I have 295 pounds of smoked black bear meat.
Wow.
That's a lot of meat.
Was that back when Stormblaze helped you?
No, I went solo on this. Oh yeah. Storm helped me pull it out of the portable hole. Yes. Because
Okay.
I killed it and I just shoved it into the hole.
Are you pulling that out? And how much of it are you pulling out?
I'll pull out 200 pounds.
Okay. Is it like one big thing, or is it torn down into chunks?
I smoked it, so I sectioned it off probably.
Okay.
So you'll see, like almost like Wally, Roadrunner, Wally Coyote, Bugs Bunny type cartoon. Like Ice just jumps into the hole and starts like tossing out slabs of bear meat. Like it just comes flying out of the portable hole.
Thank you. Right.
It starts to approach slowly. Each footstep, you can very audibly hear from the distance as it walks forward, step after step after step, just very slowly, non-aggressively. It leans down at this offering. It smells it. It kind of nudges it with its beak, and then it rips off a chunk, and just kind of cocks its head back, and just down the gullet it goes. This is not fresh, but it will be good to feed the children. This is appreciated.
Well, of course, and Ice Rose, thank you so much for for being willing to provide that. I have one question, and that is, you say I'm not like the rest. Did you mean anything besides the fact that I'm also a larger herding animal, or is there something I'm missing from your comment?
Yes.
Ah, well, I'm here to listen if you have more to say.
Roll an insight.
Oh, I don't have my screen up yet.
Oh,
sorry.
okay. I'll roll a d20. There seems to be some sort of miscommunication. I'll also, Roos is smart enough. You asked 2 questions and got 1 answer.
Yes, that's what. Yeah, I was also gonna. Yeah. I will take the silence then that he gives me after that, and just nod.
Naya,
So,
if
good.
they want fresh meat, do they want to go hunting with me?
You mean, do the owl bison want to go hunting with you, or do I want to go hunting with you?
Well, you're definitely welcome to come too, especially since you're the one that can communicate with them. But if they're after fresh meat, I would be happy to go hunting with them.
I will ask Louis. My friend here wants to go hunting and can get you some fresh meat. Do you want to go with her? Want to go together? Rather?
The herd requires much more meat than you can probably provide.
The herd requires a lot of meat, Ice.
That sounds like a really good night of hunting then.
But he says it's more than you can probably provide.
Well, that's why we go together.
Assuming you translate that, you can roll a persuasion.
Oh man, Naya's not persuasive. True to character.
It just doesn't really seem convinced that these 3 small creatures could provide the utility that 100 owl bison could not.
Well, it's less about it's less about the utility and more about the experience.
We don't hunt with others. The herd is its own.
Okay, that's fair. I thought I'd offer.
I'll chuckle. Riz chuckle. They sound a lot like you, I suppose.
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, you hunt alone as well.
Yeah, because the rest of you are sleeping when I'm hunting.
Oh, no, true. And also, I don't hunt, but
Right. Yeah, I just require less sleep, and so it's just more convenient.
I see. Could you imagine a herd of ice roses? That would be a very formidable force. Anyway, thank you so much for your time, and that's all. I just wanted to make sure that we had a proper greeting, since my people and yours have never met.
Please leave the way you came. This was interesting. But mind the herd's ground.
All right.
We thank you for your gifts.
Thanks for your feathers.
It will start to return to line with the rest of them. And you'll hear another loud, almost kind of like a screech, but it's so hollow, it's almost kind of like a siren. almost like a tone in a Christopher Nolan movie that it lets out
Fine.
out loud. And these 6 of them, they start to move back towards where the herd left. Their heads just turning around on a pivot, staying facing you as their bodies move and start to go in that direction.
You know, I spent the past 20 years or so of my life, 30, 40, 50 years or so of my life hunting demons. That is creepy.
It's quite well unique, I would say.
Oh, and I didn't state it, but each of the bison would come up one by one, and they would pick up chunks of the meat, and they'd take them down whole. Based on the fact that they talked about feeding the children, you can guess they're going to regurgitate this later.
Oh,
Yummy.
sorry, that was a player reaction. Basically, be like, I will DM. I will make note of the 2 sounds that they have made as a
Okay.
herd: the screech and the hollow
Tone.
tone. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the right word to put in my notes
Mm-hmm.
so that I can recognize it for later.
Okay.
I guess we move back to Luthien.
Yeah. I don't want to share anything more about these because you guys still might end up encountering them again later, but this could have gone very differently. This was unexpected and very interesting.
Much more wholesome than we expected.
I think Naya is the only reason that happened.
I will say
no.
everyone has their limbs intact.
Yeah, from a player's perspective, I would have been more aggressive if we had Stella and Mara with, but just and Luthien. Like with just the 3 of us, there's no way we're taking down 6 of these things.
No.
Luthien would have been like mass resurrecting us.
I think he's still expecting that to happen.
That's why he comes back.
Never
Yeah,
We
there's
should
mind.
probably
no
get back
way.
to Luke. He seemed quite concerned about our well-being. Maybe we should
Well,
head
he was
back.
watching, but yeah, like we're backing up, I guess.
Yeah, so Luthien, what was going through your head as you watched this all unfold?
Just waiting for the little switch to go from fucking around to finding out. That's it.
Yeah. That should be the tagline of our party.
Very much so.
The finding out switch.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you guys start to walk back to Luthien, do we want to jump over to Mara, Silas, or Stella? Oh, Stella's floating down the river.
Yes.
Oh, but we said
Yeah,
you would be able to find like a nice calm spot to stop. But
Yes.
still, based on your experience the day before, I think I was having you do Arcana rolls, right?
Yes.
Yeah, give me an Arcana roll at advantage.
Oh, let's see. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
you're despite the water constantly kind of tugging at you, you're able to tap into what you figured out in the depths of that um cavern pool, and using the meditations that Cludia had given you, you're able to kind of block everything out and just focus on where you're at and what's around you, but not in a way that you're listening for it or looking for it, just kind of understanding it. And you're able to start to almost feel this fabric that you were just able to start detecting the day before. You're not folding it or tearing it or moving through it, but it's almost like you can feel it between your fingers. And you really feel like you're starting to get somewhere. And after doing this a few times, doing this exercise, and then, kind of getting yourself back in a place that's stable as you start to feel yourself drift away. Um, After a few times, you realize that it's starting to get late. Um, and you haven't heard from the party in a little bit. It's been a few hours that you've been here yourself. Um,
Okay. I'll get out of the river and find where I left my stuff and then get it all back on and try to recall uh that they went upstream
mhm.
and start heading that direction.
Okay. Do we want to hop to Silas or the three of you reuniting with Luthien?
Up to you guys.
We can either one. We can reunite with Luthien after Silas if that works.
Okay. Silas, back at camp, you've spent some time with Wrath. You've heard Mara get back and join in with Cludia doing some cooking. Um, they're having some chats. They're talking about um, plainer stuff. Typical girl talk. um, Interdimensional travel, tuning forks, attuning things to the material plane, common stuff. What are you doing? Is he here?
He may not be.
I
He may
was
not be.
pressing the wrong button. Okay.
Okay.
Silas would be tending to Wrath, and after he's done, Wrath will be laying down on the grass.
I hear
Silas,
someone trying to talk.
Oh
take,
yeah, I can hear him now. Yeah.
and then he'll plop down right next to Wrath, and he'll pull out the mirror, and he'll silently talk to Wrath and say, "Do you think we'll see her? This could be it." And then he'll ask the mirror to show him his daughter.
Okay. And how old did you say she was again? She was like early teens,
Yeah,
right? She was like 12ish.
yeah.
Okay. Um, I'm just figuring out where that would fall. Time. you see yourself riding a horse. Um, how long do horses live?
Depends on the breed.
Sorry, that just seemed like a very.
That
How
was a
long do horses live?
My horse is dead. I get it
what
now.
whatever like a whatever a war horse would be, something like that. Like
25 to 30
War
years.
horses, if not like the breed that they had, like I guess in the setting that we're in, like in the Middle Ages, they would live 20 years, less
okay,
than less than 10 if they're, pushed to a war, but that particular breed today in the modern world can live like 30 to 35, maybe 40 years.
And
okay,
for reference, Wrath would have been right now he's about 10 years old or so.
okay. So you would see yourself riding a very young Wrath, still not really fit for duty, but to the point where you're starting to be able to train him, um, and start to prepare him for his future duties. And riding in front of you on the saddle, you have your young daughter. You pull aside and stop, and you dismount Wrath, and you pull her down, hold her in your arms. Um, you lead Wrath into the stables, and then as you start to head back to your home, you set her down on the porch and set her down on her bottom, and she stands up and takes her first steps.
And Silas will be still talking to Wrath. I remember that day. Do you? Uh, Wrath would whinny, and Wrath would just put his head down on the floor, just like trying to not sleep, but just resting position. And Silas would say, "Yeah, I hope we find her. I know we will. Just have to be patient." And that's pretty much it.
Okay. And then that leads us to Rus, Ice, and Naya returning to Luthien in his stampede-resistant fortress.
Stampede resistant
We're
fortress.
back.
I'm glad to see you're not dead. That was it.
It was fine. It was awkward. But we didn't
Honestly, I
die.
expected Ice to start killing them all.
Ice with side-eye Luthien.
Um,
Not that stupid. There's 6 of them.
Fair.
and they're very large.
Yeah, they seem like it.
They seemed quite, well, I don't know if friendly is the word, but they seemed quite I don't think approachable is the word either. They just seemed. They definitely seemed.
Well, who would have thought that sky bisons were a thing that exists? that scene.
Yeah, it was it's very rare that I run across a creature I've never seen, and that they also seem to be quite intelligent. That was a great, I mean, I've seen just about every race of humanoid and elephantoid and every other oid, but I've never seen an owl bison. And thank you, Naya, for letting us be able to converse with them. That was quite a wonderful experience.
What do their voices sound like?
That's
Land
almost like
whales.
Oh,
yeah, that's a good analogy.
I've never heard of land whale. Are land whales real? Maybe.
I hope so. That sounds phenomenal.
Sounds
And we
big.
did get these
Sounds really big.
feathers.
Oh yes, Luthien. Oh, sorry, completely forgot. Here is a feather for you if you'd like it.
Oh, cool. Hey, thanks. Yeah, and I'll put it away. This little pouch. Sky bison feather.
Quite a nice keepsake, I think. Very interesting.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, don't thank me. Thank them. They allowed us to to take them. I mean, we
Well,
gathered it, so you're welcome. But also, it was nothing. It was nothing. I guess what I should say. I'm still working on learning the polite ways to respond to thank you.
sure, sure. You're doing great. You're doing great.
Yeah, thank you is
I
not really said in my culture as often as it is here. Not because we're not grateful, but because it's kind of assumed. And so thank you. It's you learn new things at any age, right?
Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
So how did this tower suit you, Luthien? Anything I should do different next time?
No, I mean it felt great. I felt very, very safe from stampedes.
Wonderful.
Ice turns tonight. I forgot to ask. Are are they? Do you think they can fly?
An excellent question.
I will say you did not see wings.
Fair. Okay. Just feathery.
Yeah.
Okay, that answers that question. How far away are they from us at this point? And are they gone? Are they still
They
watching us?
they started moving away very slowly. You still will be able to see six they're starting to turn back into like little blobs on the horizon again. They've been moving away to catch back up with their herd.
What direction are they heading towards in relation to camp? So I know for
Um, so camp is mainly to the east from here, and they're heading north,
gotcha.
but kind of north northeast. But it's not completely perpendicular, but it's generally away.
Gotcha. Okay. I suppose we should head back to Stella?
Where have you guys been? I like come out from some bushes or something.
Ice holds up an owl bison feather.
What is that?
Feather from a owl bison looking thing. It was really creepy.
Huh.
You've seen some of the things that you fought some demons and undead with me. This was creepy.
Okay, I've seen an owl bear before, but an owl bison is new. She'll take the feather.
It, yeah, it's kind of like an owl bear, but bigger and a bison, which somehow makes it a lot creepier.
Huh. Well, you didn't. Nobody. I mean, you all look fine, so I'm assuming nothing really happened.
Naya spoke to it.
Oh, that's nice.
And they ate most of my bear meat.
Well, that's good. We probably were never gonna get through that much meat to begin with, anyway.
Probably not, especially at the rate that I'm hunting, but you know, I wonder what they taste like.
The owl, the owl bison.
Yeah.
Don't hunt them, Ice.
Well, I can't promise that if I wasn't given a more equal opportunity.
I mean, don't hunt them while we're here. How about that?
Why?
Yeah. So they don't kill us.
Do you think they're the vengeful sort? Like if one of their own died, they would come back for revenge.
I mean, I've heard of animals, chasing people down for years and then killing them. So 50-50 chance.
I'll
Really?
say Naya can roll. Actually, Ice, you could too as well because you saw the behavior. Either of you could roll in nature if you'd like to.
Nature.
Um, things like vengeance really aren't concepts that you're familiar with animals having, but in a moment they will make decisions to defend themselves and defend others and to ward off threats at all costs based on the movement of the herd and the way these ones put themselves between the herd and you. You can assume that those six were essentially willing to die if needed to preserve the safety of the herd. So they would fight tooth and nail with no retreat, if it meant buying time for the herd to get to safety.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I didn't quite get that sense. It sounded, and Naya might be able to give better perspective because she conversed directly with them, but they sounded like any other predator, where it's more of a hunt and be hunted, not
Oh,
so much vengeance. That's
oh,
that's more of
sure.
like a humanoid thing, I think.
Yeah, also a lot of the weird monsters that we fight if we don't get them the first time around. I'm just used to being surrounded by creatures that are overly persistent at killing others. Just probably not a good idea. So just avoid it for now, while we're here. Wouldn't want, you know, you to die in the middle of the night while the rest of us were sleeping.
There's this like look of like Ice is kind of I'm trying to I can make the look, but I can't describe it. It's kind of like her mouth is open. She's kind of like, she wants to say something, but her thoughts took her somewhere else. Like, uh, I, I, um, I'll be careful when I hunt.
Good, good. Well, I don't know about you guys. I think the sun is going down soon, and I just spent a whole heck of a lot of time in a river. It's kind of getting cold. Her hair is just like completely wet and still dripping in places.
Fingers all pruny.
Yeah.
Do you need a coat?
Well, I should be fine, but it'd be nice to get by a fire sometime soon.
All right, should we head back then?
Unless you want to do anything else.
I'm guessing most of the day is gone at this point.
Yeah. You guys spent through lunch fishing and all that, and then you traveled upriver probably 45 minutes or so, and you've got probably 2 hours to get back to camp. Plus the time you spent up here. So yeah, I mean, by the time you're getting back, it's going to be after like 5-ish.
Cool. Can I, on our way back, look for tracks, game tracks, or
Yeah. You can roll, what is that? Survival? Just a straight one.
yeah, probably.
You're able to find it mainly looks like they tried to hop over the path, the stone path. But you can see where there's a series of hoof marks where it looks like something like an antelope or a gazelle, a small hooved creature um pushed into the ground as they tried to jump over the path. And you can see that the grass on either side has been slightly disturbed. Um, there's a small number of them. You'd guess probably around a dozen that crossed the path.
So perpendicular to our path.
Yes, heading northward.
Ice will point this out to Naya and Stella and go, "Hey, wait, how fresh are the tracks?"
Uh, you'd guess they were done in this day.
Okay, Ice will point that out and specifically nudge Naya and Stella and go, "Hey, you guys wanna go hunt down some dinner?"
Sure.
Let's go. Not the bison.
No, these are some sort of deer-like creature, a lot smaller. And she points out one of the hoof marks.
I believe I owe you an invisibility spell as well. So and my nose might come useful. I maybe I'll come along just for the experience. Oh wait,
Sure.
are we still in the tower? If not, then I'm not butting in unless I'm actually present. Sorry.
This is on your way back to camp, unless someone
Oh.
is wanting to do something that's before you guys start to head back. This was on the way.
Well, then I guess my question should be: are you saying this in an area where Roos could hear as well? And if so, then I would say what I just said. If not, then I will butt out.
Yeah, I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm guessing we're kind of loosely traveling together.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say that. I'll say I feel like it might be useful to learn a little bit of your hunting techniques, considering what we might be facing here in the future.
Sure. Luthien, you in?
I mean, I'm not sure how useful I'll be hunting, but yeah, if I can
Alright.
help, I will.
At the very
Stella.
least, you can carry things.
Well, we've got means for that, but yes. So, Stella, do you mind? I think we need to be a little more stealthy with these ones.
Sure. And I will cast Pass Without a Trace.
And we
Okay.
will start tracking.
Roos, are you making ice invisible?
Not yet. It only lasts, I believe, for a minute. So I will. I'll
Are
do
you
it
doing greater invisibility or just normal?
greater, which I think still only lasts for a minute, right? Or is it 10?
Yeah, greater is a minute. Normal invisibility is an hour though.
Oh, I don't even have that spell. Holy crap! What's the difference?
Which one did you cast on Stella in the village?
Greater invisibility, and only lasts a minute. That's why we had a sprint.
Okay, and so you
Okay.
don't have normal invisibility then?
Why is normal invisibility so much longer than greater? What's the difference?
Because if you attack, you end the invisibility. So the
Okay.
fact with greater invisibility, if you attack, you're an unseen attacker and you have advantage. So it's a very powerful buff. With invisibility, it's useful for sneaking and things like that, but it doesn't actually have a significant amount of combat utility once you make your first strike.
Then I would 100% be adding that to my spell cast when next time we level up. That's a
Okay.
good. I didn't know that, but right now
Yep.
I do not have it, so it'll be. I'll let her know. But I can give you about 1 minute. But the good news is that even if you miss, you will still remain invisible. So, but only for a minute. So let me know when you're ready, and I can cast it on you.
Everyone has
Uh,
+10 to their stealth.
That's good. And Luthien, I just remembered I can actually do a thing. I'm going to cast Enhance Ability on myself and do Cat's Grace, so I have advantage on dexterity checks, and I don't take damage from falling 20 feet or less if I'm not incapacitated.
Oh,
Wait,
fun.
before everyone casts spells, let's make sure we're close first. Is that fair? How?
Pass Without Trace is an hour, so I
Okay.
would cast it now.
Yeah, so is mine.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna go hunting.
Ice, make a tracking check. So that's a survival. Okay. You're able to pick up these tracks on the other side. You can see where they had parted the grass, and you can find their footprints inside of there. And you're able to navigate for about 10 minutes following the trail. And then can we do stealths for everyone?
And +10 to whatever you roll.
Sorry, I'm actually working still, so I can't.
Oh,
I
okay.
have, so if you can roll it for me. Sorry.
Yeah, I can roll it.
Doing late night work. So I'm on my work computer.
Well, I'm glad I gave myself advantage on that.
And Stella with a 29 is able to help out as some of you are, kind of getting caught up in the grass and stepping in pits of mud. She's got a watchful eye on the party, not only just giving you guys the +10, but being able to kind of more personally help guide you guys through this grassland.
I just realized that's a 39 for Stella. We
Yeah, with a
we don't even
39.
see her.
Yeah, you don't even see me. I'm just there.
Stella's a blade of
I'm like a
grass.
spirit just chilling.
So the way she moves through the grasslands is very much the way Cludia moves through the plains.
Nice.
I gotta figure out how she does that.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So you're able to track for did I say an hour or 10 minutes? I think I said 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're able to track for 10 minutes. You don't see sign of them yet. But you can roll another survival. Okay. Yeah, you're able to keep following these tracks for another 10 minutes. And if I can get stealth from everyone again, I'll roll Roos.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
So
Still a
Luthien
16.
rolled two
We
sixes, still a 16.
yeah, we still got Pass Without a Trace.
Um, Roos rolled a 7, still a 17. Ice rolled a 10, still a 20. I am going to have to roll for this check, though, because it's on the cusp. Okay, they don't have a separate stat. You're able to see ahead of you after you've traveled for 20 minutes a herd of antelope.
How far?
You notice them when you're probably about 600 feet out.
Gonna try to shoot at them.
On a rough guess, you'd guess there's probably about 20 of them.
I can get one. Well, actually, if it's a first round of combat, I could shoot 3 times.
We only really need one, so let's pick one
Okay.
target and focus on it. We don't need to take down the entire herd.
Sure.
So
I mean, I'll move a little bit closer, but with sharpshooter, I can shoot up to 600 feet without penalty.
Yeah, so you can tell that right now they're on the very edge of your range.
Yeah, I'll get a little bit closer.
hang on, let me check something. Okay, you do have your longbow of certain deaths, which means I have my longbow back.
Yes.
I have to equip it. Sorry. I will move with you. I guess we're gonna go bow.
So, let's talk about who's doing what. Is it just the two of you advancing, and is Roos casting greater invisibility?
I am waiting. I'll remind you in character. Ice, just let me know when, and I will cast. I have to be close enough to touch you, and then you'll be invisible, and you can be on your way. Just let me know when. So I'll stay close to her in order to cast it. But I won't be following. Once I cast it, I'm not following her any closer, really.
Naya, what's your range?
Like my range of hitting things?
Yeah.
One second.
So for the longbow, it's 150/600. At 150, you'd attack normally. At 600, you'd be at disadvantage unless you have sharpshooter. It looks like you do have sharpshooter, so you also have 600 feet of range.
Cool. Let me get about half the distance out to them before you guys do anything.
Okay,
That
so
sound
we
fair?
stay here and you go forward.
You might want to get just a teensy bit closer just in case they run away.
Okay.
What's your move speed?
35.
Okay, so if you want to try to move stealthily, you'll be moving at half speed, which would mean you have 20 feet of movement. So getting this cast from Roos, that means you'd be able to do 20 times 10. You'd be able to get 200 feet closer.
Also, it would not be with the plus 10 because you have to be within 30 feet of me.
Yeah.
Damn it.
But it would be at advantage because she'd be invisible.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah, I'm gonna try to move that 200 feet.
Okay. And that'll be, you're getting there as the spell's ending, so you'll only have it for that one round of
That first
combat.
hit, yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna Crimson right on the bow before I head out. Where's
Okay.
It's been a while since I've done this. 1d8. Did that roll? There we go. Oops. Minus my damage to myself. And then I'm gonna head out.
Okay.
Stealth roll?
Yep. And it's at advantage.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
you're stealthy as fuck. So you start closing the distance. I imagine you're kind of tracking in your head the time from when Roos released the cast on you.
Uh-huh.
And you're getting to the point where you're just nearing the end of that minute. Stella and Naya, I imagine you're tracking that as well. And you're getting to the point where it's time to let loose.
All right. Let's go, Naya.
Okay, let's have all three of you roll initiative. Oh,
Ooh.
let me clear the tracker real quick. Oh,
Oh, all
oh
right.
no, that's fine. There's only 3 of you. Yep, that's fine.
Wait, what's Luthien doing? Is
I
Luthien
think
coming
he said
with?
he was staying back.
I'm gonna probably take cues from Ice because she's the hunter. So
Oh yeah, it was Roos who said he was staying back. So yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and
because
just to clarify, I'm still going to be close enough that I can get involved. You know what? Actually, no. Since I'm not a computer, I'll make it easier for you. Unless they look like they're going to die, don't worry about rolling for me. So I'm in a distance that I can see in case they get in trouble, but I won't go into initiative just to make it easy.
Well, at the place where you cast invisibility is where Stella and Naya are staying there.
Oh, okay, great.
Only Ice is approaching.
So I asked Stella and I to move up just a little bit, just in case it starts running the other way.
Then
I don't
let
know
me
if
do this. Let me do this to make it easy on you, Dan. Ruse, because again he came to study and he's not a hunter. He will go if you can roll initiative for him, but I'm going to sit it out unless I have to step in for an emergency.
Okay.
And on every one of my turns, I will laugh because I'm enjoying myself.
This is so fucking creepy, by the way. Like the laughing thing. Anyways.
I forgot to hit my token.
Yeah, well, I didn't have the
Oh
initiative
yeah, I
tracker up
forgot that
anyway, and
too.
that's why I said don't do it. And then I was like, oh, you guys are already doing it, whatever.
While you're
Okay,
doing that,
so
I'll be right
well, oh, okay.
back. Alright. I'm back. So what's Luthien doing?
he'll probably start to follow behind you as quietly as he can, but like not super close.
Okay.
He doesn't know what he's doing, and you invited him along. So.
Even after she goes invisible.
Oh, that's right. She is invisible, so I wouldn't be able to see her anyway.
Wait,
You could.
since Luthien is coming with, like, can Ruse cast it on 2 people?
Yes, I
No,
can.
no. But if you're invisible, no, that would be ridiculous. I wouldn't even know how to follow an invisible person. I'll just look confused and stay over by like Stella and Naya probably.
I'm going to cast it on Luthien anyway if he's willing, just for fun.
Sure.
Yeah, you can, hold on to my shirt like a child or something.
No.
That kind of defeats the purpose of the.
So, Luthien, here, would you like to be invisible as well, just for fun?
I get sure. Yeah.
Great. And I'll touch you and cast Greater Invisibility, and I will go, ha ha ha, this is fun. I love hunting.
Luthien will kind of wave his hand in front of Roos's face.
I do want to see something, actually. We can do this real quick, Dan. I will spend all the spell slots I can to get to have enough to cast the spell that lets me go into the whatchamacallit, the ethereal realm, because I want to.
Blink.
No, it's
Etherealness.
etherealness. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast that just cashing all my sorcery points by spell, all my lower spell slots. I'm pretty much out of spells at this point, so I hope that we don't get in trouble. But I want to see if I can see Luthien from the Ethereal realm.
Let me see something.
And if it's a long resolution, then you don't have to answer now. It's just like I'm just doing this for my future knowledge.
Okay. Oh, to see if you can see them while they're invisible.
Yeah.
I'd have to look into that.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So just know that I'm doing that just to do some research on whether or not I'm visible. Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
I don't even need the answer now.
I don't think it specifically does, but I can look into it for future. For now, I'd assume you can't.
My assumption is I can't, but if I could, it would have been beneficial information. So that's all. Thanks.
Yep. Okay. All right. Ice Rose and Luthien get made invisible. Ice Rose starts heading forward.
Yep. And then
Luthien, are you following?
No.
Okay, you're staying still.
I wouldn't probably be able to tell that she was moving anyway.
Okay. So Ice Rose, you get to the point where you're at the end of your minute. Stella, Naya, Luthien, you're coming up on that. Have you guys picked a target, or are you just kind of like, okay, we're gonna attack one of them, whatever's like closest, or
yeah, I think
what do you?
I'm probably going to like how condensed is the herd? Is there one that's kind of wandering off a little bit?
Let me roll a d100.
I was gonna say like we would have probably kind of discussed this before I moved off, and then I would have hit that target.
They're pretty well clumped up.
Okay. Well, then I'll just choose one of the ones that looks not the biggest one, a medium-sized one. One that I can see pretty well.
Okay, and how have you all agreed to? Like, Naya, Ice Rose, how are you picking targets?
I guess we would have discussed this beforehand.
I mean,
Yeah,
we
we
only
should have
wanted
probably
one.
picked different targets in case we miss.
Fair. So whoever hits one first, that's the one we're gonna all hone in on.
Or we all pick different ones and we see if any of us hit.
Are you guys hunting the bison?
No.
No, we're
Oh,
hunting
okay.
deer.
Deer.
What
Okay.
what are we hunting? Is it deer or antelope?
They're like antelope.
Okay, we're hunting antelope. I've hunted this. I've gotten this before. I will pick the closest medium-sized target to us.
Okay. Naya, how are you choosing what you target?
Not
Is she here?
Naya's muted. She's muted.
Oh, okay.
She's upstairs. She might have fallen asleep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. For the two of you who are here, and then Luthien, are you gonna try to cast a spell on one of these? Do you have anything that's 600?
Greater invisibility. 600 feet. No, not even close.
Oh, okay.
Just here to have fun.
Sprint up for an inflict wounds.
Yeah. My longest range spell is 120 feet. And I can get what, 60 on top of that if I move. So 180 feet is my effective range.
Okay. So who between Stella and Ice? Stella, you're up first.
Okay, Let's see if I hit anything. 14.
That's a hit. And it's
Yeah.
also at advantage too, so you might crit.
Oh. Ha.
Yeah,
No.
22 is definitely a hit. Roll damage.
9.
On your first strike, you line up. You've got one in your sights, or not literal sights, but you've got one.
With my elven eyes.
Yeah, your elven eyes are all lined up. You let loose the first arrow, and knowing that you get 3 attacks on your turn, you already start knocking the second arrow, and the antelope just it gets hit in the chest. It kind of bucks upwards, and it just flops over.
Ought to do it.
That's
Uh,
it.
you have your second arrow ready to knock. Do you keep at it?
I think we were only supposed to get one, so I do not.
Okay. The herd, all of them kind of perk up their ears and turn and face it really quickly, and then you hear a bunch of that kind of like yip yip noises, and they all start sprinting away. But they don't even really know which direction you guys are coming from, so let me roll a perception from them. That's
Oh
not gonna be
boy,
good
I'm
enough.
gonna get
Or-
stampeded to death.
Now we're gonna get stampeded. We were worried about the other guys.
One,
Death
Yeah.
by antelope cubs.
let me roll a d8. They start sprinting in the direction of camp.
Oh boy. Where are we in relation to that?
So you guys are heading northwards from the road. You were heading east on the road, so they're heading east now. It's just in the general direction. It's not like, oh, they're making a beeline for it, but it's in the general direction of the way you're eventually going to be going.
Cool. I will, seeing one antelope down, just run up. That's all we needed.
Okay. It was a extremely solid hit. Um, it doesn't look like it suffered at all. It was a very clean kill.
Cool. Pull the air out, pull out the portable hole, shove it in the hole. Gonna need some help getting that back out later.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, dinner. How big is this thing?
Uh, they are medium. Let me roll. Wow, that was really low. It looked a lot bigger from the distance, but it's only about 78 pounds.
That's still plenty.
That's decent.
Yeah.
Alrighty. With that, I do have to go now.
Yep. I think after that we'll pick up next time when you guys return to camp.
Yep.
Yay!
So ending
All
the
right.
session on the same day on the calendar.
Yes, this was the same day. This is the day that 5 level 13 characters hunt a CR0
And talk
animal.
to some
I
frickin' owl bison. Oh,
man,
I meditated in a river. I feel like I was productive today.
as a player, I'm so disappointed we didn't go for the owl bison. It was like so many of you dropping out of this fight.
No,
There's
we're
no way you can
trying
take
to be
6 of
good
them.
people.
We just need one to eat. What's the difference between an owl bison and an antelope?
At the cost of just frickin', nature coming down on us with so much wrath.
So the difference between them is one of them can chomp you for 2 damage, the other one can tear you limb for limb.
And that's exactly why I didn't pick a fight with them. I was like, oh, if I had like Luthien, Stella, and Mara, I would have picked the fight. Was
That would
like,
have been so
yeah.
funny if I were just chilling in the river and you guys were getting freaking mauled like 2 miles away and I had no idea.
Luthien comes back with like 3 dead bodies that's been gentle reposed.